Good morning, everyone. Well, another big number. It was a lot of expectations, and so far it's a yawn. Nothing happening here. So, what do we do? Well, let's see if markets are ready to break one way or another. We've got a wide range bar reversal, igniting a move down after the fake out from last Friday, um, which we covered. I don't know point to repeat, but all right. So we start tracking prior bars highs. Just like over here, we had this reversal. And we start tracking prior bars lows to see if that can be violated and if it's violated on a closing basis. So now we do the same thing. So the prior bar is high, right? That pivot high there from yesterday. And well, I marked that off the other day. Right. So mark that off, set an alert there. Do the same thing on your S&P, SPY, or QQQ. And we'll see if it breaks yesterday's low. And where's it going to stop going down? All very difficult to tell when prices move up with this kind of momentum. Same thing here. As prices move down with this kind of momentum, where's it going to stop? Well, we always look to the left, crossing beyond what's directly there, right? We go to what we call minor resistance. And then once it forms a new pivot high, we've got a reference point. As you can see, we've got pivot highs and we've got pivot lows on the 65 minute. So we're in the middle of no man's land. That's a fact. So does it break below here? Does it break yesterday's low? If it does, it should continue to go down. So these bars overlapping each other, there may be a little support over there to the left. We'll take a look. It's not significant. Measure significant. Well, you have these highs and lows clustered together in a range versus here, you can see the cursor moving there. It's more like a chop, higher low, chop, higher low, and then it accelerated higher from there. So on the way down, will it stop there? I don't know. you know, but look here's a measure of this range. A more esoteric type of analysis would be to suggest the range, right? The range, and then you know, sometimes this works. It's a little, I said esoteric. Say down here, and now kind of a measured move situation, which would put it down in this area. So I'm glad that it at least lines up with some reference point of support. So keep that in mind if things should start heading lower today. And then below there, if it doesn't hold there or bounces and continues lower, this accelerated move, which is the wide range bar you can see on the daily chart, there's no support. So step by step, we can look at these reference points to prepare and know and set alerts. So as we look at the spiders, you do the same thing. So prices are trading inside of yesterday's bar, same scenario, you know, forming a range. Now here, because it's not a 24-hour chart, we've got an unfilled gap. So that has to be taken into consideration and set an alert there. And you can see whatever, 543. Just look at it as an area. If you have a tool like this, you know, something like that, you can mark off an area like that and it'll set alerts at the top and bottom of the area. Pretty cool little add-on there, how it does that. Um, so that'd be the focal point for the spiders. We'll see if it goes down, but first, of course, it's got to break yesterday's low. Kind of what we got like a 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of 1, 2, 3 patterns because of yesterday being a consolidation day that went nowhere, and that was our expectations based on historical patterns. Wide range bar, often followed by a go nowhere kind of day, and now this one's got a topping tail, so we can see the rejection that occurred on the way up, reaffirming the bearishness of that wide range bar. So now we see, does it break below that low today? And if it does, theoretically, it's going to bring in more sellers. We look for the unfilled gap. And we'll want to see, does it close above or below the 50 MA, just because institutions use that as an initial measure. Is it above the 50? Is it below the 50? And so it's something to consider. SPX, you can see right there at those converging MAs, same story, same analysis, unfilled gap. Does it break the low? Does it break a high? What does it do it on a closing basis? We call it factory work. Um, those are the strikes for today. Yesterday didn't come close, of course, because there was barely any movement. So things haven't moved too much here this morning. I'm just double checking the outside limits, what I believe are the outside limits anyway, for the day. Yeah, so that's still good. 55.80 and 15, 54.15. No. So we always look for a dollar, right? And then see how it lines up. So that came up a little bit. And then is it reasonable as to not going there today? Um, if we do this put spread, which I believe prices will not get down there today, are our lines of defense? Meaning, where will traders look to buy? What's the unfilled gap? And so we've got a 1, 2, 3. So yesterday was a resting day, which if breaking here, that supports the ability to go lower. Lower to where? Well, as I mentioned, the unfilled gap. Is it that significant? Not really, but it's there. And, starting from here all the way down to there, even though there's a resting day, there'd be a bounce there. And as far as credit spreads go, even if it goes against you, a bounce, even if the bounce lasts for an hour or so, that could be significant enough for this to be profitable. And of course, remember the time decay. Going back up there today, seems highly unlikely. There's a number at 10 o'clock. Keep that in mind. Just go back. And the ISM, this morning's number was a non-event. So I think unlikely that it's going in either direction or to that extent today. Other markets, you can see you're pretty much doing the same. Nothing happening there. I think it's got to inch its way lower. Little rejection from those pivots. You can see right there. Not a big deal, but look, scalpers just buying the dip down there at support and selling resistance, and we'll just wait to see if it breaks one way or another. Dow futures, 1, 2, 3. It's on support with marking time. Nothing happening there. Russell, same story. It's got room to fall. Just back and forth, back and forth. Nothing happening there. Not a chop. Bitcoin, let's pull back onto this pivot, but there's just no clean type of a pattern to do anything with this. So we review it, day to day, but at some point things will set up. Nothing happening at this time. Gold up on the day looks great. Well, it looks neutral, but for right here, but it's still an uptrend. It came off of support. Uptrend on the weekly, uptrend here, should keep going up until proven otherwise. Silver, pretty messy pattern there. So nothing to do there. Crude oil, kind of trying to stay off of the mat for maybe, some buyers coming in. It's coming to a pretty critical point. Looking at that weekly chart, this level down here has been, give or take, very significant. You can see it dips down a little bit, but then comes right back up again. So, oil coming down to a pretty significant level of support. You remember this day. That's not a bad tick. That was a crazy thing. All right, I thought maybe we could inch back a little further there, but we'll see if that begins to get turned around. Alex is pointing out the euro and pound. Let's take a look. Buy setups. So euro futures. Yep. Actually, I drew this last week. I guess making that hook. It's on minor support. It's pulled back here. The angle of retracement is not, it's not all that bearish, but it's not bullish. You like to see things come down at an angle, a little less straight down. But anyway, it's on minor support and it's in an uptrend. So yes, pound. That's I like the euro better. Like this one was stronger, but this is so close to the prior high. See the weekly chart here. This is threatening on moving up, which thinking about um, you know, currencies and then, interest rates, which you can see here. I was going to show that and just skip my mind, is that the 13-week continues to drop. So yes, there is a very strong belief the Fed is going to cut. And so well below that 5% mark and moving lower. The 10-year, moving lower. And mentioned this in the green room yesterday, with interest rates are moving down as they are, um, copper looks like it's ready to roll over again. That's been weak. And the only kind of saving thing is when we look at different information that might be pointing toward a recession or not, is that, hey, these transports, they continue to hold up pretty well considering, the drop. It's just in a big, giant, messy trading range. You can see on the weekly chart, but, not dropping. Similarly, does it break below these lows or does it get above the highs? So there's a lot of uncertainty. September, Fed cut, water, half, jobless claims, all of this noise, so to speak, which creates these erratic price patterns. Um, so far the regional's holding up pretty well after that move. And financials extended, but so far holding. So, well, we got a break of a prior bar's low, no close below a prior bar's low. And these are, like everything else, unchanged. So there's a lot of running in place here, waiting for something, some news, some event. Uh, Semiconductors, NVIDIA, all of that, you know, coming down. So as we get closer to support, we'll see how buyers want to become more aggressive. You know, talked about this misalignment of the daily and weekly time frames earlier in the week, the weekly up resistance, the top of the trading range. So I think from kind of a swing trading perspective, as we look at the markets, it's a time that's best to trade other things. And as prices come down to more significant support levels, we'll see how that shapes up and what that looks like. Now, until then, right, day trade, credit spreads, trade other stocks, price patterns that are on their own page. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. Happy to be back with my full computer. And you got Yeti here. Yeah, I love traveling, but yeah, I miss my big computer. All right, let's see what we got. All right, there's my screen. Raul on YouTube. LKQ. Raul always has nice buy and sell setups. And there you go for another one. Now, this one's a little trickier, Raul, in terms of the entry. And what I mean by that is a typical buy setup and a nice uptrend where you got railroad track 20 and 50. That's typically just over a prior bar's high. And so this one's a little different from a bottoming pattern, higher high. But when the highs are so close to each other, then you got to ask yourself, how confident are you of the turn? So I'm just going to set an alarm at 41.72 and I'll just assess it in the time. So that looks good. Oh, Alex, when I was cleaning up my watch list on the big computer, I saw that Lavidia of yours. Remember? I can't ever remember the symbol. That thing flew yesterday. I can never remember that symbol, but it's Lavidia, something like that. All right, alarms going off. Only got two of them on gold. We're in this in the ATF letter. Up alarm went off. MBAC alarm went off. We're long this and trail mode. Still range bound in the 15-minute, nothing to do. Okay, I remember an A, so they must be sister companies. No, that's not what I looked at earlier today. But it doesn't matter. It was actually too extended. Look at Verizon buying fiber. Now, just being an objective chart reader and understanding what news is, what this tells me with 99% certainty that is gapping down on a buyout announcement is that they overdid themselves here yesterday. Yeah, buyout rumors. Look at that, an intraday halt even. Wow. But they thought the offer was going to be bigger than it was. End of story. That's what this gap down tells me. So they were right on the buyout going through, but they were wrong on the amount. Let's go to earnings here and watch list items. TTC, gap into a prior low. Let's see what it does. I got Tesla in the other computer of the fangs. Tesla is the best fang here pre-market with the daily chart. Amazon gapping up, but sloppier. That would have been a great 1, 2, 3, but for yesterday's bar. So now it needs some time to heal. But Tesla's the best, hands down. Nvidia still weak. What's today? Thursday. Tuesday, I was pounding the table on this as a short, and it was a gap and drop. So it was a little hard to get on, but that sure worked. I have Qualcomm, TSM on my watch list as 1, 2, 3s. I posted TSM as a call spread idea, same with Airbnb under yesterday's low. That's amazing how this thing's been so tight. But it's tight in a downtrend, but it's failure to go up, failure to go down. Well, I'd say it's the Bears are winning because it did go down under this prior pivot to claim 20. So under yesterday's low will be green bar ignored, will be a nice call spread. Back to earnings. Shoe Carnival. Down a lot, gapping up a little bit. Maybe 30-minute high would be a great put spread idea and or day trade. Put that in this bottom right here. SIAC gapping up 132. Same put spread 30-minute high. there's that. Casey, I had a couple of these in my earnings list that I really thought were yesterday. I thought Casey reported yesterday, but I could be wrong. C part, low 50s, bearish gap, no pattern, AVAV, same. This is actually a good condor pattern though. Out of the money call spread, out of the money put spread, particularly for tomorrow. Opening flat, like volume, no pattern, no doffel. My rule, I don't trust these unless they're liquid, but gap in a 190. If it is gap in a 190, 30-minute low, maybe. XPO 103. All right, excessive gap. I'll put this in my other computer to watch. XPO, and this is a transport, so here's a 123 KKR. This would be a great 30-minute low. Day trade short, call spread. That looks great. I have nothing tier one ready to go right out of the gate, but I got a couple nice watches here. All right, that's a nasty gap, but no pattern. AI, nasty gap, but big old excessive gap. Let's see what it does in the first 30 minutes. All-time lows was $8, so we're nowhere near that. Curto, $28. Gap in the middle of no man's land. I don't like those. HPE 1740, ugly gap, no pattern. CXM. Greg, this is when I asked you about shorting yesterday. Oh, that would have worked. So, but I didn't know if it was earnings or not. Wouldn't have held it, of course. This could be a gap and snap. I mean, usually gap and snaps, we prefer them to close weak at the low, but still, it's down a lot far from the 20 excessive gap. So it's still a put spread watch. Put that in a window. We are in T. EX 540 bullish gap. That's a pro gap. Let's see what it does. Alex, I remember somebody was talking about Nova yesterday. This is a failed buy setup, which is not unexpected because there was no support and it went vertical. So this is a perfect pattern to trade extended buy setups, is wait for the failure. That's actually a great example. I gotta put that in our buy setup, MT limes. But that's on my list. Tesla we talked about. Fifey. That's garbage. X. Camelo wants to block the merger, so that got killed yesterday on volume. It's gapping up. That could be a 1 DTE put spread and or day trade based on the 15-minute pattern. And, yeah, I was looking. Yeah, nice gap down around. Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday, and I remember mentioning that in the green room. I just didn't like that it didn't have the weeklies as all. Pizza, somebody mentioned the green room, wide range closing breakout, kind of a big monster inverse head and shoulder. So that looks good. Newell, Greg did a long training session yesterday. Big old double bottom. Ideally, we get a 1, 2, 3 and boom over the highs for tomorrow. That's on my list. UA, we bought call options on Tuesday. Dollar Tree, I'm watching. This will turn eventually. I love watching patterns like this. The S&P 100 stocks, they just get obliterated. They'll turn. I promise you. So this could be turning right now for a day trade and a 1 DTE. Zulu Sierra was on my list yesterday, excessive gap to support, but I never got the confidence that it was going to hold. Never. And big old top and tail. NVIDIA still looks lower. CCI, I'm watching. Ideally, it'll chop around a few more days and then maybe break out next week. Intel, man, what a disaster you are. We stopped out of our short puts on Tuesday. What a head fake that was. I'm sure that sucked a lot of people in, including us. The only thing we could have done different is only done, well, either do partial lot or zero lot and wait for follow through the next day. For my trade review, that's the only comment I have. Otherwise, yeah, it was zero lot. Otherwise, it was that was an intelligent bottoming pattern. All right, Boeing, I'm watching. This was not even earnings. This was a downgrade. And my comment in the green room is there must be more negative news than a downgrade, because that's a nasty bar. Breakdown weekly, monthly, so that looks damaged. Flow, I like. I have an alarm 2342. Today could be the day. Let's just give it a few minutes, see what the market's doing. I posted it already in the Telegram, but I'm going to do it again. Flow. Alpha X-ray. This was in the weekly letters along over these highs, but I canceled it. I guess still got my alarm. XLY. It's a bull rectangle, but it's just not ready. FIS. We actually stopped out yesterday when I was on the airplane, so I closed it. But Sam, I think this was yours. And then we had a beautiful swing game there. Al, we're short stock in trail mode. DHC, problem child. Solve, we're still in. Our stuff is yesterday's low, 63.17 is solved. XLU up alarm. We are in that. I will set a new alarm. 78 LKQ alarm. That was that buy setup mentioned pre-market. By Rahul. Yeah, triggered. Yeah, we can buy. I don't buy. General rule. I don't trade in the first 5 minutes. But it's an igniting gap breakout. I would if I felt more comfortable of market direction. So stop Tuesday's low. All right. LKQ alarm. This would be a great 30-minute high. I see these overlapping bars, so I'm in no rush to get into this, but it looks good. I will set an alarm 4185 now. Back, back alarm. This is like a pre-market low. Let's move it here. 4038 now. Oh, it had stopped 4044. All right, my bad. That stopped out yesterday. I'm back. So let me close that out. Nine. So we're out of back. Small gain, but small gain better than small loss. Hey, shoot Carnival, bottom right. Okay, see, now it's a gap and go. Yeah, see, transport slow alarm with that, XOP. Um, is that the one? Not XOP. Where are you? XPO. Yeah, I don't trust that. Here. VRNT. Gap and snap I mentioned, and it's holding so far. It's only 933 though. But let's take a little gander at 1DT ears, and there are no 1DT ears. And the 25s are 40 by 55. I don't trust that for 2 weeks, but that's working so far. TTC. Yeah, there's nothing to do here yet. After 3 minutes, are you kidding? A few fangs here are moving now on the 15-minute chart, but no patterns on the dailies. Amazon. I mean, these could be 1 DTE put spreads, but here we go again. Qs and spiders stair stepping on the 5-minute chart, and diamonds and IWM stair stepping. Absolutely amazing. Hey Sam, what year were you in synchronized swimming class? Was that high school or college? 2019. Okay. So true or false? The diamonds and IWM 5-minute chart would win the synchronized swimming contest right now. Sam's like, look, man, I liked it better when you were traveling on your laptop because you didn't have time to mess with me. All right, flow actually moved too far in 5 minutes, so let's do a pull back into the gap instead. Actually, I'll watch them set up.
That was a 200.5-minute bar on YM.
Really? Wow.
I
See,
mean,
just like yes,
it's still inside today's range, but you know,
no, but
pretty
I'm
powerful first bar.
well, I'm shocked based on our same conversation yesterday when you said the Dow was down 700 and I was just looking at the bars. I would never have guessed that's 200 points, but that's why I'm tonality. Yeah,
Ranges got bigger, and so yeah, it sounds like a lot, but it's
right.
trading inside of yesterday's range.
Do you all remember when we 700-point swings in the Dow up and down was just a daily occurrence? I forget what was going on at the time, um, with that volatility, but yeah. Actually, it's right when I moved to Lauderdale, so that's about 8 years ago. I was just swinging around craziness. Sam, not bad for a day trade. I don't like it as a swing at all because you got no good price point. SPD. Uh, yeah, definitely under yesterday's low. Um, I'll set an alarm 12:16. IYT. We have a put spread plus 6. I moved stuff 65.38. Yeah, the problem is though, you know, resistance zone doesn't mean anything to me because it's also a big old inverse head and shoulder acting bullish with a price void. So hypothetically, if we get a 1, 2, 3 here, 10 o'clock high, that's a long up to 166. Day trade only. Yeah, these fangs. What's going on here? Google, I know it's only 8 minutes into it, but remember yesterday we were talking about a possible 1 DTE. This is a potent reversal now on the 15. Now, granted, I see it was yesterday also, but it never took out the high of that bar. So now let me see if there's any juice for tomorrow. 24 cents naked. There's no juice. Um, I mean, this is an extremely poor quality W bottom because this mess, you got this, it's total mess, but it is a bullish retest. You can kind of see the bottoming tail retest on the weekly a little better. Amazon, that I would do a put spread, 173s, 172.50, 26 cents. That's it. Meta, no pattern, Netflix. Netflix is a bear 1, 2, 3. I hope it closes like this, and then we will be all over this for directional and call spread. Oh, did I say put spread? That was wrong. Call spread. I'm gonna set an alarm 673. 674 to get early notice. So let me look. Seg. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, bearish 15, sure. This 200 is really not in alignment with anything, but that could be a logical first target. Epic. What does epic mean, Sam? Airbnb. Yeah, I got my alarm, so I'm not doing anything. Al gave up the gap, so that's still good weakness. 29.80, I'll set an alarm. Oh, really? Yeah, ETN, little 123. Looks lower. That'd be a good call spread. Papa Hotel. That's more of a call spread. I don't know about directional myself. ITW, I don't like that at all. CMI either, other than day trade short, which already triggered. So that list, Sammy boy, LTN, let me look for call spread. Would have to be far away. I see the 303 at the 50 MA. There's no weeklies. There's no 305s, 310s. But 2 weeks away, 310, 320 is 65. If you are so inclined, but it's, down a lot, not a great entry. Flow. Oh man, flow kept going, didn't come in. Darn it.
Coin making a turn here on major support. The spreads are they're wide. There was some juice at 155, but they're spready.
Yeah, that'd be a good one DT year.
I don't know if you want to do the midpoint, but $10 away. Yeah.
Well, now $5 wide put spread 40 cents. But I don't call that a potent turn, so it's not a
No, it's the beginning
no-brainer.
of the day. Because it
Right.
was $10 away, I thought, okay,
All right. No, that's a watch. Yeah, I just want to give it more time. All right, that's it on my alarms. Solve is holding well. Let me set 6440 alarm. UA low alarm, but pattern's still fine.
I haven't looked yet, but Tesla's, a Tesla, NVIDIA, a put spread candidate if it's far enough away. Maybe it's something below 100.
Yeah, Tesla was the beast. Oh man. Alex, I was surprised you said you sold it. I got this on my list for a new trade.
No,
Um, but I understand if you're in for much cheaper prices. Alex, same talk as always. It's coming from a base.
the entry on that one is tough, Alex. I mean, other than just saying buy it above yesterday's high, maybe better to use Tuesday's high.
No, he's in already. I said I have it as a long watch.
Uh, They said,
Um,
how would you approach it long?
oh, I thought you were talking about Tesla. All right, NTNX.
It's got long enough base on the 65-minute chart to put a stop under that pivot low,
But
which is
yesterday's low.
yesterday's low.
Right. Well, that's not a pivot. Oh, you mean on the hourly pivot? Yeah. Yeah. No, it's going sideways. It looks good. I'll set an alarm. 6310. How big are the numbers tomorrow morning in terms of gap risk?
Who knows?
Huge?
I don't know.
Oh, that's what Alex said. Huge. Solved. I got stopped yesterday's low, but nothing wrong with if you're a more active trader selling it now or have. Let me see. Did we sell any? Yeah, wow, got a nice first third target, 65.50. Look at that, dead high. Yesterday we sold a third. I'll set an alarm at 64. Better not get there.